Hey kiddos, in this video I'm going to be doing the brain check for science on page 335. So when you have the brain check page ready to go, it should look like this. We can get started. The first thing that you should do is always the same. Take out a pencil and write your name. Remember, some of you are doing a great job remembering this, but some of you need to get better at it. Only the first letter of your name should be uppercase. So when you are writing your name, the first letter is uppercase. The rest of those letters need to be lowercase letters. Okay, that is proper English. That is how we do it from now on. So when you're in second grade next year, and third, fourth, fifth, even when you're in college, that is the proper way to write your name. So make sure you are doing it that way. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do here on this brain check, it says word play. We're going to be taking the words from the box here and putting them into the blanks. And then at the end, it looks like we're going to be able to solve a riddle. So the first thing we need to do before we get to the riddle solving is figure out which words fit on these blanks. Okay, so think about what we learned in science yesterday and we'll try to apply it here. So this one says the measure of how warm something is the measure of how warm something is property, weight, texture, or temperature? If you said temperature, you are right. I'm going to spell this out for you, so go ahead and write in the letters as I spell them. You should have lowercase t, e, m, p, e, r, a, t, u, r, e. Temperature is the measure of how warm something is. If you need more time to write that word, you can pause the video now. If you are ready to move on, then we'll move on to number 2. The way something feels. This was a word that we learned yesterday when we did our science chapter. Do you remember if the way something felt was called a property, weight, or texture? If you said texture, you are correct. So on this line here, we will write this word texture. I will spell it for you. T-E-X-T-U-R-E. Texture. So the measure of how warm something is the temperature. The way something feels is the texture. The next one says the measure of how heavy something is. And the choices we have left are property or weight. If you guessed weight, you are correct. So for number 3, we're going to write weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, weight. The measure of how warm something is temperature. The way something feels is texture. The measure of how heavy something feels is weight. And a part of what something is like, we learned that word is the last word we have here, property. Remember, the properties are like the adjectives we use to describe something. So for number 4, we'll write property. P-R-O-P-E-R-T-Y, property. Okay, so now we filled in all of our answers here. We have the measure of how warm something is temperature. The way something feels is texture. The measure of how heavy something feels is its weight. And a part of what something is like is called a property. Now it says, solve the riddle. Write the circled letters in order on the lines below. So here we have in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to write those on that line. So number 1 is an M. So I'll come down here to the number 1 and put an M. Number 2 is an A. So we'll go down here and write an A. Number 3 and 4 are both T's. So come down here and we'll put for 3 and 4 the letter T. Number 5 is an E, so we'll put an E here for number 5. And number 6 is an R, so we'll put an R there. So we've written the word matter. And the clue for the riddle is, I am anything that takes up space. What am I? And we learned that that is called matter. Matter is anything that takes up space. So that was a really fun activity to help review all of our words from this chapter. If you turn the page now, boys and girls, on the back of 335, we have this applying concepts page. It says sort these shapes. Draw each one in the diagram. So to do this, you're going to need both a red and a blue crayon or marker or colored pencil or whatever you've got. I'm going to use my red and blue pens, and we are going to draw them in the diagram. So the first thing that we need to look at is, in this box, we're going to be drawing all of the hearts. In this box, we're going to be drawing all of the red shapes. And then in the center will be the ones that fall into both boxes. So it will be a heart and it will be red. So we'll start here with this rhombus or this diamond shape. It is a red diamond. So we can't put it here in the hearts box because it's not a heart shape. And we can't put it here in the red hearts because even though it's red, it's not a heart. So that shape will go here. So the first shape you should draw is that red rhombus, or I know sometimes you call that a diamond shape. Okay, so we'll get that one. That is the first one that we've sorted, and then I'll exit off so I know I've already used that shape. Okay, the next one is blue, and it is a heart shape. So I'm not going to put it here because it's not red, and even though it's a heart, it's not a red heart, so it has to go over here in the hearts box. So I will draw that blue heart here. Okay, so all of my hearts are going here. Okay, cross that one up. Okay, this next shape is a blue rhombus. So it's not a heart, it's not a red heart, and it's not a red shape. So it actually will not fit anywhere in this diagram. So we can go ahead and cross that one off because that is not a shape that belongs in our diagram. Okay? And the last shape I have, it is red, and it is a heart. So it needs to go in this circle with the hearts, but it also needs to go in this circle with the red shapes. So we'll put it here where they overlap to show that it goes in both boxes or both circles. Or I guess they're more like ovals than circles, but you know what I mean. All right, so you should have all of your hearts, all of your red hearts, and all of your red shapes that are not hearts. Okay, you can cross that one off. We are done sorting our shapes. Now we can move down to section 2. It says circle each thing that floats and draw an X on the things that sink. So if you're not sure, you can practice. You can take a penny and drop it into a glass of water, and you will find that it indeed sinks. So draw an X on the things that sink. We draw an X on the penny. It says circle the things that float. If you have a rubber ducky in your bathtub at home, or if you ever used to have one, you will know that it does float. Grayson has one in his bathtub that he plays with every night when he gets his bath, and I promise you it floats on the water. And this is a toy boat, and we learned yesterday that when you have a boat, because of the shape of the boat, it floats. So you can circle the boat will float. All right, for number 3, it says name or draw something hot and then name or draw something cold. You can choose whatever you want for those 2 answers. I love hot coffee, so I'm going to put coffee on this line, but you don't have to say coffee. You can choose anything you like that's hot. And I love ice cream, so I'm going to put ice cream for my cold. Now you, on your paper, can decide whatever 2 things you want, something hot and something cold. write them on the lines, and when you are finished, you will take a picture of both sides of this page and upload it for me to Class Dojo so that I can see the hard work you did on this today. Thank you so much for your hard work on this, boys and girls. Bye.